Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. This is Jonathan Bass over at RevenueWell. I'm one of the content marketers here, and I am super stoked about this month's webinar. Um, Shay Berman from Digital Resources here, and he's going to teach us how to generate revenue with social media and video. Right before we hopped on, Shay was just kind of giving me some background on his company and how he has scaled this thing so incredibly fast. Like I'm motivated now just having talked to them for about 5 minutes here prior. Um, Shay, a little background, specializes in dentistry. Right now, he's got a little over 100, or excuse me, 300 dentists as clients. And some may argue, most important of all, he is a good friend of one of our founders, Alex Nudell, which, if you know, it's always a pleasure dealing with Nudell. So, without any further ado, before I pass it over to Shay, we will have a question and answer portion at the end of this. So, shoot me over any questions you have while we're going along, and I'll moderate at the end. And with that, Shay, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on this webinar today. I'm super excited to show you guys some really great information regarding social media and ads and how video can play a huge role in your practice. So this presentation is going to be all about generating more revenue, which is one of the most important things in our practice for our growth. And so as we go through, I'll show you a lot of cool examples and show you some real life things that you can do to grow your practices. So one of the biggest things I want to start off with today is talking about lifting the veil. Now, what does lifting the veil mean? Well, in the beginning of this year, I was big on video. I said that 2018 was going to be the year of the video, and video is going to be king. And that definitely came true. But with video, it became different forms of video. And one of the biggest ones is this authentic style of video that really tells the message of who the practice, who the business is. So our theme for 2019 is going to be lifting the veil. Now, how do we lift the veil? How do we show this authenticity in our practices? There's a lot of ways we can do it, and it doesn't take a big investment in your time or money. It just takes being real. People are always given options, whether it's on Google, on social media, when someone gives a referral, whether they look at their insurance plans, on what dental practice to go to. But how do we differentiate ourselves? One of the biggest ways we can differentiate ourselves is through the who, not the what. A lot of us get stuck in, who has the latest technology and, what services do we offer in our practice? But what about the who? What about who you guys are, what the practice looks like, who the dentist is, who the staff is, and what these people mean to the practice? You'd be surprised at how many people not only are looking at your reviews online, but are also going to look at your social media. They're going to go to your social media and say, who are these people? Do I trust them? Do I feel comfortable? Is this going to be a safe environment where I feel safe having someone work on my mouth? And you guys want to show that you're fun and real. And no matter how you choose to do that, just showing who you are as people is going to be huge for 2019. So let's talk about how to lift that veil. What does that really mean? So being authentic. Making sure that when someone goes to your Facebook page, it's not these very stiff images or very stiff videos. Whatever you do, you want to make sure you're being authentic. And you can provide a lot of great information to people about who your practice is through authenticity. Don't be afraid not to be perfect. We're not perfect. People aren't perfect. And nothing we do is perfect. So don't be afraid to shoot that funny video, post that picture that you thought might be a little goofy online, or even post things about your family, about your friends, about vacations you might take to get away from the office. People want to know that you're real people too. I have a client here in South Florida. We're in West Palm Beach, Florida ourselves, Digital Resource. I have a client here in South Florida. They call her the dancing dentist. She does ballroom dancing every single weekend. And every weekend she's posting new videos of her ballroom dancing. And her patients love to see this information. This is information that when people see it, they go, she's a real person. This is someone I can connect with. And when they come into the practice, they talk about her ballroom dancing. They talk about their hobbies. And it creates that connection that she would have otherwise not had. I have another practice, we have another practice that I swear, somewhere in the world, every single weekend, he was finding a place to go skiing. I didn't know there was that much snow in the world, but he finds it. But the cool thing is he posts his travels, and he's not afraid to show the authenticity of what he loves outside of dentistry. Now, does he post things about the practice and staff in between? Of course. I want to give you guys an extreme example showing that it doesn't have to all be about dentistry to lift the veil on who you are, who your doctor is, who the staff is, and who the practice is. Even more personal, we have a couple, husband and wife, young dentist, just started a practice, have 2 young babies, and they're posting pictures of their family, posting pictures of having date night. And these are the things that really resonate with the public as they go check out your social media. It's important to know too that social media isn't something that's in its own little box off to the side. When people learn about you, whether it's through Google or through Facebook or through a friend or referral, a dental insurance plan, they're going to check out your website, your reviews, and more so your social media pages to see who you are. So don't feel like if you don't have an advanced Facebook plan that no one's going to see it and you're going to be wasting your time. It's important to know people are checking it out almost as much as reviews, so it can make a huge impact. Don't be afraid to put something out there and see what the reactions are either. So when we put out a video, we can see how many likes and comments and clicks and shares it gets. If you put something out that a lot of people didn't resonate with, take that into account and realize the next time you post something, try to make it a little bit different and see what works and what doesn't. Test it. But people want to see real people being real, and that's what it's all about. At the beginning of this year or last year, we would have loved to see, commercialized videos, nice panning and smooth walkthroughs. And that's really nice still. And there's a time and a place for it. But now people want to see that authenticity. You guys have probably seen some things like there's another dancing dentist, I believe it might be even Chicago, or I think there's another one in North Carolina. But the guy's just doing a dance to the In My Fillings challenge or the In My Feelings song. And that's, again, lifting the veil for another example. So show what you've got. Everyone has something to be proud of. Whether your office looks beautiful or has not been updated in a while, you have your staff, you have your doctor, you have something in your practice that makes you special. And it's about finding that, not putting too much thought into it, and just doing and getting out there and showing who you are. So let's talk about video formatting. I mentioned there's kind of 2 different types. We have our professionally shot videos that might have a small crew or a large crew come into the office and shoot the doctor and patients and the staff and just really create a nice video that might be best suited for the homepage of your website, because that's going to tell a great story. And on the other side, we have our authentically simple videos, we like to call them. Videos that are just real, that tell who the people are in the video and gives your potential patients, current patients as well, an idea of who they're going to be dealing with or who they are dealing with when they go to the dentist. So I'm going to show you guys a couple examples here so you can get the gist. First, of the professionally shot video.
When the patients walk in, they already can sense that we know our patients by the names, and we try to make the treatment more relaxed.
That part of the job is typically the end result. It takes sometimes a lot of
You guys kind of get the idea there. It looks like it's not done buffering yet, but you can kind of get the idea of how this video is shot and the cleanliness of it and how it's kind of shot more professionally and has background music. And this kind of video is great for a homepage of a website, a Facebook cover video, even sometimes the Facebook ads in the right time and place. Now here's an authentically simple video, as we call it. And I'll show you guys this example here.
Hello, my name is Dr. Gassi of Lakeview Dental, and today I would like to welcome you to our office in Royal Palm Beach. We offer a wide range of dental services, anything from basic cleaning, fillings, crowns, to more complex procedures such as implants, implant-supported dentures, and many more. My goal is to make you feel comfortable when you get here, so you will feel right at home. Please give us a call to schedule your next dental appointment. Our staff speaks both English and Spanish. We look forward to seeing you soon.
So you guys can see there was nothing special to this video. It's the doctor in front of an iPhone, just telling who he is, about his practice, welcoming the community. You might have some doctors that are more upbeat, some doctors that aren't as great in front of the camera. And that's when you might want to use a staff member instead, a hygienist assistant, a front desk person. But just being real and inviting the community to the practice can go a long way. But it's not just about how we shoot these videos or what these videos look like. It's also about what we do with the videos after they're shot. But before we get into that, I want to talk about how to shoot an authentic style video, because there's a couple cool tricks we have for you. So we have our point and shoot. We have where you take an iPhone or an Android and just shoot the video. And you have someone shoot you, or you have someone shoot someone else who's talking into the camera. You can also do it selfie style, where you're literally holding the camera out in front of you, maybe using a selfie stick, giving it a little bit different formatting. So you can use that style of video in your social media and in your Facebook and Instagram advertising. There's another way you can do it, what we call the Reporter app. There's one on the Apple Store. There's also one on the Android store as well, where you can actually script out what you want to say if you're not great in front of the camera. And they'll play the video, or excuse me, the words in front of your face while it's recording you, selfie style. So if you don't have a teleprompter to use and aren't great in front of video, having this teleprompter style video shoot might go a really long way in assisting you or your doctors or your staff in creating a great video for the internet or for wherever you want to put the video. So the biggest thing, we take these great videos, they look nice, they're really fun, they're super engaging. We put them on social media and they're gone. How do we continue to make these videos pay off? How do we create revenue from video marketing? Well, it's all about the advertising. With Facebook's algorithm only showing about 10 to 15% of any regular organic post to its followers, you have to pay to play. And paying for Facebook ads is the only way to get in front of the audience that you want and actually drive real conversions from Facebook and Instagram as a network. So I want to show you guys this example first, and then I'll talk about what it means.
Mi nombre es Dr. Daniel Cancel de Premier Dentistry y esta es Carolina.
Hola, mi nombre es Carolina, yo soy la higienista de Premier Dentistry. Estamos aceptando los pacientes, esperamos verlos pronto.
You guys, super, super simple. At the beginning, they even said, okay, let's go, and they didn't cut it out. This is super authentic. It wasn't even chopped up. They did it in one take, and it was nothing more than the doctor who didn't speak Spanish, speaking a little bit, the hola, me llamo, and then having his assistant speak to the Spanish-speaking community. Now, this was actually one of the first videos we did in a different language, and it was pleasantly and surprisingly simple. We shot this video, we put it on Facebook, we put a $500 budget over 30 days targeting the Spanish-speaking community that was within a 10-mile radius of the practice that he was in. We put a tracking phone number on the advertisement just above the video, so we knew of these Spanish-speaking people within a 10-mile radius, when they see this video, they're going to call this number. And we can track how many people come through this video. $500 over 30 days turned into 17 new patients and $63,000 in revenue. $63,000 in revenue from $500. It was amazing. What the doctor had told us had happened was that the Spanish-speaking community that surrounded him did not have a Spanish speaker to go to as an option. They never knew that someone could speak their language. So when he was speaking to them and they were able to see and hear someone talking to them on Facebook in a way that resonated with them most, of course they were going to call. They were getting calls to the office saying, I didn't realize there was a doctor in my neighborhood who spoke Spanish, of course, all in Spanish, and they were making appointments, and it's really amazing. We started running it for this doctor, I want to say about 8 months ago, and we're still running variations of this campaign, and it's going super well. We've actually redone this video with other clients of ours who have other things that make them unique. We've done it in Russian, Polish, Portuguese. We've done it in Creole. I believe we've also done it in Hebrew. These language niches are an easy win. If you have someone in the office who can assist you, just one person who can assist with this language that you can go after, it's crazy what it can do for, as far as performance, because people love to hear their native or preferred language over the internet. It's very rare that they do hear something outside of English. You can also do it outside of language and with jobs. We had another client who they accepted the insurance for Florida Power and Light, their dental insurance. So we targeted everyone in their area who listed Florida Power and Light as their employer and hit them with a special video speaking to them. We did it again for the Jewish community, targeting people who list themselves as Jewish on Facebook. And the Jewish husband and wife doctor, they spoke to them saying, we're part of the Jewish community. We'd love to see you here in our business community, in our practice community, and inviting them to the office. You can do it with hobbies, niches, so many different things, but it's about creating these videos for the audience that you're speaking to and tracking that audience all the way to the practice using call tracking. Here's another video that we did, kind of more general. I'll show you guys this example here.
At Batener Pediatric Dentistry, our staff loves what we do, and we want your children to love coming to the dentist too. We believe that kind, gentle, and compassionate care can help children grow into healthy, happy, and educated lifelong dental patients. Our office is a comfortable and friendly environment where your children can feel safe being themselves. And parents can also rest easy knowing that we use state-of-the-art technology to provide the highest quality and affordable care. We greet our patients with high fives, and they always leave with big smiles. So contact us today to schedule your infant, child, or teen's next appointment. We look forward to seeing you.
So that one was super general. That was more on the more production value side, but it didn't speak to a community. And I want you guys to understand that you don't have to speak to a niche to be successful. It's about creating great content. So whether you do it high-end kind of production or middle-end production like that, or do something more authentic, you can just speak to the general public. One amazing thing to know is that 2 or 3 years ago, you would have to pick your niches. You would have to pick your targeting as far as the age of the people you want to speak to, maybe their income levels, their jobs, their net worth, their family makeup. You could choose all these things, and you still can. With how far Facebook's algorithm has come, Facebook knows who to put your ads in front of. So sometimes it can be as simple as just putting the ad out there, setting a budget, creating proper tracking, and allowing Facebook to serve your advertisement, your video, to the correct audiences. So again, it's about getting it out there, guys, and making sure that we're speaking our language, our message to the correct audiences. So I want to get into the tracking and follow through because it's so important. So many people don't understand the return on investment behind their marketing, and it kills me as a marketer because my business owners need to know what they're producing. Because if something's not working, it needs to be changed. And if something is working, how high can we ramp it up before there's a point of diminishing return? So we typically recommend using a system like CallRail, callrail.com. It's a great program to be able to create different phone numbers where you can put them on different ads. So let's say you have an ad for implants, an ad for pediatric, an ad for ortho. You can have different phone numbers on each video so you know which campaign is performing the best. It's all about taking the amount of money you spend, dividing that by your number of contacts or leads, and figuring out what your cost per lead is. On Facebook, if it's done really well, you can get your cost per lead down as low as $8 a lead. You can also get them as high as $85 a lead, but they should be more high quality leads that come through and should be for higher end cases like implants and even for emergency visits and Invisalign. But between $8 and $85 per lead for most practices that are converting a high percentage of your leads would be really great. But the only way to know is to track the call. And when someone calls in, to have your staff be putting the patient information in, meaning making the referral source say Facebook ad Russian video, Facebook ad pediatric video, whatever niche you're using or whatever you're using in your video content, making sure there's that special phone number and that your staff realizes what you're putting out there so they can put in the correct referral source into EagleSoft. So asking every patient how they heard about you when they call is so important so you can get that correct information and putting it into the software, and at the end, reviewing the recorded calls. We have some clients that I can think of off the top of my head that I know are not handling their calls in the best way because my team and I review their calls to see how they're being handled. Maybe they're being put on hold for too long. Maybe they're not saying, the name of the practice and their name when they answer the phone and doing a nice, welcoming, warm greeting. Maybe they don't have the right answer to the questions, or they aren't offering patient financing. So if you are generating, I'm just going to use a round number, 50 calls a month, how many of those calls are good calls? How many of those calls could have been handled better by the office? And how many of those calls converted? You can take a look at all those metrics to see what's working, what's not, and figure out how to fix or make better what you're doing every single month. If you guys ever do work with a marketing agency, it's always important to treat your marketing agency as a partner and not a vendor, and allow full transparency on both sides and bluntness so that you guys can have real conversations and get down to the nitty-gritty that needs to be talked about. Get down to the numbers as far as what is the real return on investment in terms of revenue from all this work we're doing, all the way from creating the videos to putting them on Facebook and paying for advertising, to tracking, to answering the phone calls, to what kind of dollars is actually coming into the practice. Right here it says, your marketing is only as great as tracking you put on it. If it works, do more. If it doesn't, stop the campaign. You will know very quickly whether or not a Facebook ad is doing well. We've put out ads before that, in the first 2 days, we've seen nothing. There's no engagement. And we know that campaign's probably not going to turn around overnight. We've put out other videos that start out okay, and they ramp up and start doing even better. And some that, on the other hand, start going down, and we need to replace that video content, that creative. So it's about always tracking and analyzing. And if you're going to do it yourself, making sure you're staying on it. Or if you're going to work with an agency, making sure that they're always looking at your numbers for you. So they're always doing the best work to get you the most return on investment. So I have a little bit of a bonus for you guys, and it's outside of the Facebook advertising and the video creation. I hope we touched a lot on that and the different ways that you can utilize video and the different ways you can utilize Facebook's targeting and the ways you can use CallRail to track that targeting. Here's a bonus idea for you. Manage live chat on your website. I'm going to play this little video here while I talk. I don't believe there's sound. If you have traffic to your website already, if you get patients who say they find you online already, a very quick and easy win to bring more revenue to the practice is to put live chat on your website. Now, there's a lot of companies out there that offer live chat. I know some practices that do live chat on their own, and we have our own ideas about how live chat should be run based on the information we've brought in from our clients, running on their own or us running it for them, times of days, things like that. An average dental website is able to convert about 3% of its website traffic into a contact, whether it be a contact form or a phone call. When you put live chat on your website, it's not a marketing tool that increases to more traffic, but a sales tool that actually increases the conversion rate of the traffic you already have. So if you're getting 3 out of every 100 visitors calling your office, putting live chat on your website can actually increase that number to 4, 5, or even 6 out of every 100 people contacting your office, because you're creating a whole new way for someone to be able to contact and converse with you. Now, many of you out there listening right now are probably thinking, I would never use live chat. Why wouldn't I just call the office? And you know what? I have to agree with you. I'm not a live chatter myself, but I'm not a lot of things myself, and I'm not the general public. The fact of the matter is that the statistics show there are people who prefer to live chat with someone on a website and get a call back from the office so that the office can talk with them later on. So should live chat be run? I'm going to share with you guys a small story. We have a doctor, Lake Worth, Florida, and April of last year, he said, Shay, what else can we do? We love to do new things and would try anything once. And I said, Dr. So-and-so, let's put live chat on your website. You have a ton of website traffic. You're getting like 100 and some calls per month. I know we can, convert more of this traffic through live chat. So we put live chat on his website. And this is before we offered live chat. And we gave it to his front desk person. And his front desk person was the live chatter. And she would, take the incoming conversations and try to convert them, get their information so she can call them back. So I come back at the end of 30 days. And I say, Dr. Ferber is his name. Dr. Ferber, how did live chat work for you? He goes, Shay, this was the worst idea you ever had. Why would you possibly put live chat on my website? I said, what happened? He goes, we got nothing. We got angry people. So we did some investigating. We figured out why. So his front desk person really was unhappy running live chat. She was very busy already. She had a lot of phone calls. She had people to deal with, work with, and live chat wasn't her thing. So not only was she not responding to live chats quickly, but she was also not talking to these people the nicest she probably should have been. I'll leave it at that. And so no one wanted to give her their information. Long story short, someone would ask for an appointment and she would basically tell them to call the office, which made live chat totally irrelevant. So I said, Dr. Ferber, let me bring live chat into our office here. We have people that can manage this easily. And we did. 30 days later, we came back and we were able to go from 100 phone calls or so per month for Dr. Ferber for implants to getting about 30 to 40, I think it was about 34 or so live chats that same month. The number of calls did not decrease. It did not cannibalize the phone calls he was already getting. All it did was open up a whole new segment of the population who would have otherwise not contacted him. Because he had live chat, they did. Now you might also think, well, maybe that's for younger people, older people would never want a live chat. Dr. Ferber's average patient's over 55 years old. So live chat is for all ages and all people. And it really works, but only if you have existing website traffic. So it's 100% for you. If you already get some new patients from your website, if you don't have website traffic, again, not going to convert a higher number of 0. If you plan starting marketing or just start marketing online, if you start running ads to your website, that's going to generate traffic that you can convert at a higher rate. If you do want more new patients, if you're obsessed with tracking results, the coolest thing is that a company like ours, and again, there's others out there, we capture the information, the name, phone number, email of what the person's looking for, and send that to your office in the form of an email. We then actually also call your office and say, hey, we just sent you that lead so that your staff can get right on top of it. Because we know they're not checking their email every 5 seconds like we are. Once they get that call from us, they can open up their email and call that potential patient back right away. Now, this is so important, and I can't stress this enough. The key to live chat, beyond having website traffic already, is calling patients back within 5 minutes. If you can't call a patient back within 5 minutes or less of you receiving your lead from your company, you should not be doing live chat at all. Live chat does not work because it's a higher conversion rate piece. Live chat works because of the customer service piece. If I'm a potential patient and I'm saying, wow, I just chatted with this office, I got a call back from them just now, a few minutes later, that's amazing. Why would I not go to that office? That's great customer service. You know how many offices I call and I can't even get through to someone. I'm put on hold or they don't answer the phone. But I'm chatting with someone, they call me, that's a patient. Across the board, when our clients are actually calling back patients within 5 minutes, they're seeing an 80% rate of people coming into the office, and the treatment acceptance is so high from these people. Again, because customer service was so great from the beginning. So you guys, I've went over a lot. I hope you guys were able to learn some great things about video, about Facebook ads, about targeting, and about live chat. I hope these are really cool things that you can implement in your practices. Just know it doesn't take a huge background of planning and all this stuff. It just takes doing. You know, get videos out there, put a budget up there, put some tracking on it, get live chat on your website if you want to convert that higher percentage. All this can go a really long way. It just takes doing it and then tracking it to make sure you're going in the right direction every single month.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Shay. And we do have some questions here. So one here is about live chat. What do you do when the office is closed? Can you set it for something like like an away message, or how does that work?
Great question. If you're managing live chat in-house on your own, if no one's on the chat, it's going to act as a contact form. So if someone opens it up, they'll send it like as an email to the office so that they can get it the next day. If you're using a company like ours to manage your live chat for you, we'll actually be able to reopen that conversation with that potential chat the next morning when we return through their own email of that chatter. So it starts the conversation right back up. One important thing to know with that is that the best chats come during business hours, and that people who do try and chat after hours typically aren't picking up the phone the next day, which is somewhat wasting the time of practices who are trying to call back chats from after hours. So the best ones are during business hours anyways.
We have a question on, can you kind of walk us through how a company like yours would manage live chat for its clients so as to kind of alleviate the stress from some of the dental team?
Of course. So We would get your website login. We would put our chat code on your website, and immediately we would be live on your site with our live chat agents here in West Palm Beach. 8 to 5, Monday through Friday Eastern, we are initiating conversations with every single website visitor, meaning anytime someone goes on your website, after a few seconds, we're going to pop up and say, hey, I see you're looking at implants. Is there anything we can assist you with? And try and create that conversation. Whenever we get someone who does re-engage back with us, and we're able to capture their name, phone number, email address, and what they're looking to get done, we then save that information, log it internally, send an email to your office, call your office to let them know that we sent that email, and then you guys call that patient right away. So our whole goal is to capture that information and create that higher conversion rate and make sure you get that information as soon as possible and that you see it in your inbox, because we're going to call you and let you know it's there.
Excellent. So we have a question about conversions. Should a practice have a live chat and like a schedule your appointment form on the site, or is that just a bit of overkill?
So it can't hurt having both. I personally prefer live chat because it's kind of like quick response, and it gives the practice an ability to create a relationship with the patient over a phone call after the information's captured. From our clients, we tend to see a little bit more no-show rates when people are self-scheduling and they haven't gotten to have that human interaction, but it can't hurt to have both.
Okay, cool. Let's see. When this is on video testimonials, to make them authentic, we have a practice here who tries to ask 3 questions, such as the individual's name, how they help, and that they're in town. I think they kind of fear sometimes it comes off like canned responses. Do you have any tips to kind of make it seem more authentic?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's great that you want to get that information in there, but I think a lot of people are going to be a little bit more trusting that the people you're putting up are your actual patients. So use some real questions. What's your favorite thing about coming to the practice? And even maybe ask it and have them answer, or cut out the question and just have the answer there. But I'm not sure that saying their name and all that is necessary from the posting standpoint. And maybe just get to the facts. Let them speak their piece about you and tell the public how great you guys are. One other piece actually with that, there's a lot of social media signs out there. We have them. There's other companies that have them too. They're really great for pictures, but we've even had people have fun with them within the testimonial videos, like a sign saying, I love my dentist, and this person starts talking about how much they love their dentist while they're holding a social media sign. So you can make it a little bit fun and a little bit more authentic that way.
Yeah, kind of like when you go to a wedding and they have the like the photo booth type of props, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. We have a practice who uses, they say, ClickFunnels to market on Facebook. Can they add live chat to their funnels?
I believe they can, as long as they allow for the Live Chat Inc. integration, which Live Chat Inc., the software, integrates to almost everything. I believe it should be able to be put on there. So I'm going to say yes to that.
Okay, cool. So we're very pro live chat on a website. What are your thoughts on using like Facebook Instant Messenger for similar reasons, or is this just, would that be kind of cumbersome for a team?
So it sounds like they might be referring to Facebook Instant Messenger chatbots. Sounds like they might be running a very advanced Facebook advertising campaign, which is amazing. Maybe I'm totally off base and that's not what they're doing, but Facebook Messenger is a great addition to communication online. It's people who are going to start a conversation with you right through the Messenger, through an ad platform, and allow you to restart those conversations whenever you want. I would say that Facebook Messenger is something that's more social media, Facebook-centric, and live chat might be more website-centric, and they can play a role together because they're kind of on separate platforms.
Okay, excellent. Let's see here. We're getting quite a few questions. This is great.
Love it.
This one's about team buy-in. we're not all made for being in front of the camera. Do you have any tips on how to get people excited? You know, even if it is just a 15-second clip to put on Facebook.
For sure. I think the biggest thing is people don't understand the impact they can make. They think it's just going to be a post on Facebook. Why do I need to participate? This is stupid, maybe, or I'm not someone who wants to be in front of the camera. And you're going to always have some of those people who might feel that way. But the biggest way to get team buy-in is to let them know how far social media can travel. Let them know what it can do for the practice. Let them know it's going to make their lives easier, attract better patients, more fee-for-service patients, and that their lives can be easier literally through the use of social media. Now, it's not going to be a short-term overnight change, but all of these things that they can do to make themselves more authentic on social media in the long run are actually going to make the patient's quality better, which might make them happier, maybe more into doing social media. Those social media signs also can work for staff too, though, and give them a way of getting out of their own box because they're holding up a sign that's saying things for them.
I agree. I mean, even here at RevenueWell, we've seen once you get a few people in front of the camera and you kind of prove that it's not that scary, we kind of get more people jumping on board.
Yep.
Okay, we have a practice asking, can a budget less than $300 a month on Facebook generate enough views on their page? So roughly a $10 a day budget.
So $10 a day sounds like you might be only doing it business days. Maybe so $200 a month. If you're running on the weekends, you'd be at $300. Can it generate enough views? I guess it depends on what your performance metric is. If you're going after new likes on your Facebook page, $10 a day might get you between 8 and 12 likes. If you're going for traffic to your website, you might generate quite a bit of traffic, but it's again how you measure that conversion. If you're putting a video out there and trying to show a video off and get engagement, and again, those phone calls, yes, it can work. You're just going to want to see how it's producing. Because if you're spending $200 a month and you're getting 5-10 phone calls from it, and those phone calls are converting to patients, I mean, why not spend more? But yes, that can be enough in a lot of cases. It's just about measuring to see if you should maybe be doing more.
Okay, let's see. With live chat, how would a practice get a phone number through live chat? Will they run up against a HIPAA violation on that, or is it acceptable to receive the phone number from a prospective patient there?
Totally acceptable to receive a phone number from a prospective patient. That person's giving up their information voluntarily, and they're not a patient yet. So accepting their information through it and utilizing that information to call them back is totally acceptable through HIPAA.
Okay, excellent. When you mentioned targeting niches, is it good to drill down as far as you can, like to go really, really niche, or is it kind of just whatever type of community that you feel like you fit in, go that area?
I would say don't try and be something you're not. See who you are within the practice and what the community that surrounds you, what you can connect to. The super niches are great if you actually have that real connection. But if you don't, you can be successful online using general targeting, like that Baitner pediatric video, which is targeting, just showing about her practice. We're able to target moms who have, young children within a 5-10 mile radius, and that's niche for her business, because she's pediatric. But she doesn't have to go and be speaking Spanish or a different language or hitting people who work in certain places. You can be very general because Facebook's algorithm will serve your ads to the best people for you because Facebook wants you to be successful, so you use them again.
Cool. Back to live chat. We have somebody wondering what's the cost of having you and your team run their live chat?
Yeah, it definitely varies depending on the number of locations and the amount of website traffic. Most websites are going to be at about $275 per month. Unless you have multiple locations or a ton of website traffic, you won't really be above $275 per month.
Okay, cool. Let's see what else we have here. Shooting videos. Do you recommend people shoot them from their phone or from their camera on their computer, or is it just whatever you can use in the moment to get it up there?
That's a great question. I'd say whatever you can use in the moment is totally fine. iPhones, they shoot television commercials with iPhones. Androids have really great cameras too. So using your phone camera might be the easiest, just to get those videos up and out and get that person shot and up on Facebook.
Okay, we have another one here that you've shown some really good examples of people really being authentic within the practices. Are there any times you watch videos and you can just tell that there's a lack of authenticity there? Like, are there any red flags that you and your team tend to caution people against?
One thing, we live in I'll say this way, a delicate society. So watch what you think might be funny and make sure that everyone's going to think it's funny. It might be the biggest thing we caution against sometimes. We've had a client before who put out a video on their own. They posted up, without us knowing. And it was about some kind of like inside joke type thing. And it wasn't bad by any means, but no one understood it. And some people were weird about it. So be careful when it comes to humor sometimes and make sure it's actually going to be funny to everyone. And if you have a doctor who just totally looks stale, or you have a staff member who totally looks stale in front of a video and you're trying to shoot them, it might be best to choose someone else in the practice, because you really want to make sure you're giving off a good, warm, welcoming vibe and that real vibe. So if they're not showing it, find someone else in the practice who does. It doesn't have to be anyone in particular. You just have to have video coming from the practice.
Let's see. Man, we've got some great questions here. Okay, let me find what I was looking for. Oh, yes. So let's say a practice is new to video or the chatbot. How long do you typically recommend trying this out and measuring conversion before you essentially give up on it? I realize it's probably different for video and chatbot, so you can probably speak on each of those.
For sure. So the live chat, you'll know basically within the first month, you'll know how many chats you're getting. Of course, there's some seasonality to almost every business and almost every area of the country, but you're going to know in the first month, maybe 2 at the longest, if chat's working for you. I'd probably say 2, just so you can give it a little bit of a test there. And when it comes to Facebook ads, you're going to know within a few days to a week whether or not your Facebook video or your ad that you're running is performing. If you're not getting calls in that first week or so, it's probably something's wrong, whether it's the video, the targeting, the messaging, or the tracking. Something's probably happening negative there if you're not seeing results within the first week.
Good to know. Good to know. Good thing with something like that is you can pivot very quickly. Facebook's made it easy for that.
Exactly.
With live chat, if you're running somebody's live chat, is it a member of your team or is it AI that you've hooked up?
It's actually a real member of our team. We have 3 full-time live chat agents currently running over 100 chats on our doctors' websites right now. We do train them in being efficient, quick with their responses, very customer-friendly, but we want to get to the point. There's some companies out there who ask a whole bunch of questions to qualify the patient, and the patients will fall off the chat. We're like, hey, yeah, we'd love to help you. Can we get your information? We have someone call you right away. And we're really excited with them on the chat, and it's our real people here in West Palm.
Excellent. Well, I think we've just about run to the end of our questions. Shay, thank you so much. If there's anything else you'd like to say in closing before I wrap it up here, one last plug, why not? Let's do it.
Thank you everyone so much for listening. I hope this was some great information. My personal email address and my office phone number are listed here on the slide. If you'd like a free consultation or to talk more, have any questions, please shoot me an email. It will be the best way to get a hold of me. I'd love to set a time to talk. And if you're interested in working with us, we'd love to have you. Otherwise, I hope you learned a lot, and I hope you implement it in your practice.
And you know what, man? As I was sitting there closing down, we had a couple questions come in, so I'm just going to toss them at you since we're still within our time.
Sounds good.
How often should a practice post authentic video? Would doing too many seem like they're unprofessional?
Not at all. The general public is going to think that's super fun. There's no such thing as too many, in my opinion. They're just going to think like, wow, they have a great time there. That's the place I want to go. That's what we see. And obviously, keep in mind there's a difference between posting to Facebook and a Facebook ad. A post on Facebook might last, a day or a few days as far as on your timeline before it gets pushed down. But an ad in a video, that's something that's going to consistently be pushed out for weeks or possibly months, depending on how long that video can run to hit the entire demographics you're hitting before it gets saturated and you have to switch up the creative. But the answer to the easy part of the question is no, you can never do too much.
If live chat is coming from a member of your team, we have a practice wondering how can it be personal? I guess, do you have like an introductory session with the practice and kind of understand how they operate with their patients?
So we actually can personalize our introductory response, like the beginning message that pops up to the potential patients that we're chatting with. Do have some of our clients that like to say specific things for that introductory message, and we totally customize that, the coloring, everything. It's important to remember, though, that we use live chat for lead generation, not customer service. So we're not going to answer questions about their insurance plan. We're not going to answer questions about, what they specifically do in the practice and things like that. We'll help them out, if they need help finding a phone number, or if they need an address, or if they're wondering if they offer implants, for example. We will answer those basic questions. But for the most part, we want to get them on the phone with the practice so that you guys can sell them, so that you can offer someone who maybe doesn't have your insurance plan the in-house financing or patient financing. We want you guys to have that opportunity, so we try to just relay the message and get you as many leads as possible.
Let's see. We have a young practice here who's wondering, in terms of y'all at Digital Resource, do you do like a trial or a demo or something of that nature with the live chat?
So we do. And I'm looking at the number of attendees here, and I was going to be careful saying this. But we do offer a 15-day free trial of our live chat to see if it works for you. We typically can see if within that 15 days if you're going to be getting chats. If you don't get chats, it's not something you want, you cancel. There's no obligation. If you do get chats, we of course hope those are valuable enough for you to keep on chatting. And so yes, we do have a 15-day trial.
I have a feeling you all are going to get a lot of calls after this webinar.
I was looking at the number, like, I'll let them know.
And with that, I think now we are officially done with all the questions. This has been absolutely wonderful. Shay, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. It's been phenomenal having you on. I hope everybody learned a lot. I know I did, and I work in this space.
Well, thank you. And thank you again for having me. I hope everyone learned a ton too, and I hope to talk to you all again soon.
Cool. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you too. Bye.